Hi, I'm Tony with Timeless Cottage Gifts, and I'm going to show you how I painted this flower using the spring shop at Hobby Lobby. So what I did was I bought a pack of their spring flowers. They have the small ones and the large ones, and there's a small and there's a large. I also bought a pack of hearts from Hobby Lobby. These are 1.5 inches, and one of their small discs. And I made this. Let's see. Let's start. And also I made something else too. I bought the pack of bunnies. I bought a pack of wood bunnies. I think there's 10 in a pack. And I drew a little bunny and I added it to the flower as well. It's a little variation. I'm going to do another video on how I painted the bunny. So let's start with the flower. What you need to do is you need to take 2 of the larger flowers, and I matched them up, glued them together, and I used the art glitter glue and put it together with clothespins, and for about an hour I had it clamped, and that's pretty strong. And then I painted it warm white. So this is base coated warm white. I'm going to make a pink flower. This one is the blue one. And so I base coated this one with cotton candy. And I base coated the little disc, cotton candy. And this I'm using as a stamens. Those come in one of these packs like this. I wish they were all flowers, but I got a couple of other things I'm going to have to figure out what to do with. But I use these. They're, yeah, I took one out, but these are what I use. There's 1, 2, there was 3 of the flowers, and I turned them into stamens. And the hearts, I base coated these a light green. You can choose whatever color light green you want. I use citrus green, a FolkArt color. I just mix and match the colors of the paint I have. And so let's get started. Let's start with the little flower here. Okay, I'm going to use an angle brush. This size is a 3/8. I think this is a half. Yeah, this is a half. Let me try the 3/8. I'm going to get my brush wet. And I'm going to take the color Dragon Fruit. I'll make sure, okay. And put it on my palette. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade it, work it into the bristles here. And if I have any trouble shading, I get, there's a flow medium. I got this flow medium from Hobby Lobby. And just put it in a jar. And sometimes I just dip my paintbrush in it. And work it on my palette right here to get it in the bristles, and walk it out and walk it back. And so I'm going to start here and just go around. I want to leave a little bit of room right here. Now I'm not going to worry too much about the center, because these flowers, the centers they're covered up with the stamen and the little flower center. And let me do one side first. Can you see what I'm doing here? Right here. And then I'm going to start with the other side. Just to make some little petals and the shading of the little petals. Okay. And then I'm going to dry it. I'm going to take a dry brush. I like these, they're Dynasty, I think they're Dynasty dry brushes. And some warm white paint. And I am going to dip it in the paint and get a lot off on my paper towel. And then I'm just going to dry brush the middle. Okay. Then I'm going to take that same warm white that I have on there and a little bit of cotton candy in it, not very much, just like a, I'm going to dip my brush in the, here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my brush in my flow medium, get a little bit off on the paper towel, dip it in the cotton candy and then in the warm white, and just brush it back and forth on my palette. And then I'm going to take that color and go around to make a highlight at the tip. Okay. Try that. Now I'm going to take my liner brush and that, let's see if I can get this over here. Yeah. And I'm going to get a little bit of water here, make it a little bit wetter. And take a liner brush and roll it in it. And then I'm going to start making some little lines in the flower. So I would go, since the petal is like this, I'm going to set that aside for a little bit and go to my little stamen right here. And I'm going to take pistachio mint. And I'm going to put a little bit on my palette. I'm going to use that one. And my angle brush again. And I'm just going to make little C strokes around the edges right here with the pistachio mint. This piece is so small that you don't need to do much. And I'll come back and do another float on that. Okay, for this piece right here, I am going to take a stencil. This stencil is much larger than I use, but it'll get the flower all at once. We'll see what it turns out like, because I lost it. So if you want checks, just make sure that the flower is straight. I mean, it probably won't matter, because if you're going to turn the flower, and the other flower is going to be on top of it. So this one, I am going to take the cotton candy, and I'm going to stencil it. And hope that my stencil stays in place. This is my stencil brush. This is a Chris Hoy stencil brush. And I'm going to go into the cotton candy. Wipe some off and hold on to at least 2 of them. Okay, let me dry it first. And I'm going to go to the left side of all my my little checks. And I'm going to do a little shading. And do a highlight side right here. Now right here I got a little bit smeared. It might not matter because I'm going to shade around it, but I can just clean it up with some of the warm white that I used as the base. And let me dry that. I'm going to take it and shade around it. Very light shade. Okay, I'm gonna dry this. And I'm gonna go around and do that, that little shade a little bit darker. Or I'm gonna strengthen it. I'm not gonna make it any darker than what I've been doing. I'm just going to strengthen it. Because we're going to add glitter, and I want it to stand out a bit. So and now we're going to put the dots. I'm going to take some Sunny Day, get a stylus, find the size point I want, and just dot in the circle in the center of each one of those white squares. Now the leaves, I painted them citron green, but I'm going to take this darker green Clover and this lighter green faded Jade, and I'm going to do a little bit of, FolkArt Paint is really thick. That's why I kind of like it for this technique. So I'm going to take my brush. Let's see, I'm going to take my angle brush. Where'd you go? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip this part in the faded Jade and this part in the Clover. So it's going to look something like this, and then I'm going to work it on my palette. Hopefully you can see right here. Let me get a spot. And then I'm going to do it again until I feel like I got enough. The only thing I'm really worried about is, I'm not too worried about the center because I'm going to shade it, but I'm going to take it, put this on the tip, and just swirl it back and forth like this. And on the other side, I'm going to reload my brush. And this time I'm going to take it from the top and just do another swirl. I did it this way because it's quick. Oh, I got some pink. It's not going to really matter because part of these are going to be covered up. Okay, I'm going to let these dry for a little bit. And go back to this. And my pistachio mint. I'm going to reinforce it. And this here is going to have little white dots. So I'll take my stylus and my white paint. And each one, I'm going to just put a little dip dot. On the edge. And then this piece here, I'm going to take more of my dragon fruit and I'm going to go around the circle. This was my side. Okay, and then go here. That's just going to be the first shade, because what I'm actually going to do with this one, I'm going to take this little checks. Let's see about my dry brush using this. Okay. Lightly swirl. Okay. That's a rush job. All right, and I'm going to go back around again. You could wait until after you do the checks before, after you stencil. You don't have to do it before. You could do it later. I don't want to touch it. Okay. That same color that I put on this, the sunny day, and I'm going to dip dot in the little pink squares. Set it aside, and I'm going to work on my leaves a little bit. So I'm going to take my angle shader again, and this time I'm going to get an even darker color. So these leaves take a lot of different colors, but I'm going to use the Pistachio Mint for the highlight on the leaf, and for the shading, I'm going to take Hauser Dark Green. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now I want to know which way I'm going to lay these. So if I lay one this way and one this way, and I have a third one and I want to put it this way, that's going to determine which way I'm going to put my shade. So this one, I'm going to angle it down. Well, that definitely needs a darker, I need a darker color. Maybe not though. And then this one, I'm going to do the opposite. So it's got this way, and so I'm going to go up this way and up to the center of the heart right there. And then this one, I'm going to have it go down that way as well. So there, like that. I'm going to let that dry, the dark dry a little bit, and then I'm going to highlight the complete opposite side with the Pistachio Mint. And since this is going this way, I'm going to put this one on this side. I'm going to do my best not to go across that line. That needed a little bit more flow medium. Okay, my phone ran out of memory, so I'm going to pick up here, and I'm going to deepen the shade with the Hauser Dark Green in the center. Right here. This one really needs it because of that. And do the same for the highlight. And on the shade side, I'm going to put a little bit of a highlight of Pistachio Mint. And on the highlight side, I'm going to do a little bit of a shade with Hauser Dark Green. These are just whimsical leaves. They're not in any way supposed to be real looking. And now I'm going to take my extreme glitter, because these are glitter flowers. You can make them not glitter flowers if you want. I just kind of, I like glitter. But that'd be fine too. They're cute if they're not glittered. And I'm going to take, I'll just take a brush here. And you can, they're sealed. You can actually put a varnish on them, but I don't think you need to, because this is pretty much a sealer in itself. Okay, I put glitter. I put the extreme glitter on all the pieces. And now all I have to do is glue it together. So let's take this piece first. And I use art glitter glue. I pour it in a bottle so I can get a really small tip and be pretty precise. This glue is super strong. And it dries very clear and it dries very fast. So I put the flower in the same area. Each petal, the little petals go right on top of the matching big petal. And just glue this portion of our leaves and then this one. And there's the pink one. Here's what it looks like without any glitter. They look a little different. And then here's a blue one, a yellow one, a purple one, the blue. Since the glue isn't dry yet here, what I do is I take the Hobby Lobby magnets. They're Imagination Station. They're ceramic magnets. And I take one. Now you can also put a clothespin on the back of these. I'm thinking of doing that too. They could clip onto an Easter basket or something like that. But for this one, I just take the art glitter glue And like I said, it's super strong. And I just glue it on. Okay, I forgot that I take the gold pen and I do the sides with gold. And I also forgot to do the dip dots. So I just did 5 dip dots on each petal. And that's, oh, I wanted to show you. Okay, so I said on the back you could put a clothespin. I did this, I guess a couple years ago. I just did a crazy flower and I put a clothespin on the back. And these could have it too. These are a little bit more substantial. But if you take, like say you had a plant in there, you could clip it on and it would just, you know, you'd have a plant in there or whatever you put in there, and they clip on very nicely. So that's another idea. Also, if you're interested, I do have an Etsy shop where I sell my flowers, and if you are interested, stop by. Otherwise, pick up some spring flowers from Hobby Lobby in their spring shop and a few little baubles, bits and baubles, and make some of these yourself. They're really cute and they're really fun. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.